Have you ever met a person who is deeply in debt, or perhaps you yourself are this person? Right now, we will look into the reasons for the creation and accumulation of debts and discuss ways to prevent such situations or pay off existing debts. My name is Alina Leoni, I'm a psychologist and psychotherapist, and my mission here is to help you better understand yourself and those around you. In this video, I will not touch economic solutions to the problem of debts, such as accounting for income and expenses, like this advice, save 10% of each income, strive for something new and constantly learn. No. This information you can easily find on YouTube. I will leave this part to professional economists and people working with finance. In this specific video, you will learn about the psychological reasons for creating debts and how to get out or not fall into a financial hole. First of all, I want to say that money is not pieces of paper, but the real energy of labor, experience, skills, and knowledge. Our energy capacity determines the amount of money in our lives. Therefore, for some of us, it's difficult even to earn 100 euro. But for others, millions come quite easily, as it seems from the outside. And now I will briefly describe to you the most important money rules that each of us should know and follow. If you have been given an expensive gift, you must pay for it with kindness to the donor or even to a stranger. Remember, even if for some reason you cannot thank your benefactor now, be sure to return this energy by showing kindness to other people. The main thing is that there is mutual exchange. Everything you receive from other people, you receive from the universe. And that's why it's very important to return what was received, so that there is an energy flow. Unfulfilled promises also create a hole in finances. Therefore, always be careful with what and to whom you promise. And if you understand that you cannot fulfill your promise, do not make it. And if you have already made it, then honestly admit that you cannot fulfill it and apologize. Be generous and help. Give money to charity. If you don't have such a financial opportunity right now, help those who need it. Lovers of promotions and everything free. I often say nothing is free, never was and never will be. You will have to pay for everything, if not with money, then with your freedom, work, health, energy, whatever. Therefore, always try to follow the basic laws of money, the law of gratitude and the law of payment. Always find out the price and only then decide whether you can afford it now or not, without creating a debt. And now we can move on to a detailed study of psychological reason for the creation and accumulation of debt. It is important to say that everyone may have a situation in their life when they have to take out a loan. This doesn't necessarily indicate that such a person is immature, but it is important to pay attention to what for a person borrows and how he or she will deal with this debt. For example, if we are talking of business development law, this is often a healthy strategy for developing your capital. And in today's video, we will talk about those people who are chronic debtors, when one loan smoothly flows into another. First, I want you to sit down and analyze what kind of life are you living now because of your debt? What are you denying yourself? Who don't you communicate with because of debts? What are you not doing? In your case, what exactly do you get when you have debt? Perhaps this is a pity from loved ones, or care, or support, or vice versa. It can be also when people condemn you and say that you are not capable of anything, and thus you strengthen negative thoughts about yourself. What feelings do you experience? Shame, awkwardness, limitations. And now analyze how your significant adults lived. What did they experience and how they lived? What kind of money experience have they had? Did they allow themselves to realize their desires? Or have they always lived under restrictions even if they had some money? Answer yourself honestly. Are you unconsciously living through the experience that you learned as a child? It may be that your attitudes are different from those of your family, but your brain still forces you to live a safe scenario of restrictions. You may disagree and say, what's safe here, living in restrictions and fear? But it's important to remember that everything that has already been experienced seems safe to our brain. Even if it is a negative experience, our brain considers it safer than a hypothetically happy unknown. After this practice, you will become more clear where and when you adopted this limited thinking. My grandmother always repeated, "It's better to give than to take." I understood this phrase only after some time. The state of giving can only exist in an emotionally mature person who is in the position of an adult. At the same time, an emotionally immature person believes that all the world, that everyone around him owes him money simply because he or she is so wonderful, and this person starts taking on debts. In this way, it's if he himself takes on those emotions and that love that he was not given in childhood or in adulthood. But over time, the debtor realizes that he needs to grow up and start paying off his debts. And this awareness gives those emotions that in the future can even create a debt addiction. When it seems to you that you have taken what is yours, which belongs to you by right of birth, then you feel important and businesslike, and in the end you experience adrenaline from hanging on someone's hook, someone's money hook, let's say. Please remember that borrowing is borrowing from your future self. Duty is something you do against your will due to spiritual slavery. Even if you had to take something from someone, it's very important to thank that person or return what you took. Even if he doesn't ask for anything and it doesn't matter to him at all, give it in parts or in full as soon as the opportunity arises. Pay as much as you can. It's not the amount that is important here, but accustoming your brain to the fact that you pay bills. So very soon your consciousness will switch from the I owe everything mode to the I keep my word and pay back mode, which will have a very beneficial effect to the state of your mind. And you will be surprised that money begins to come to you much faster and the debt begins to melt. An important point, start paying your debts from the smallest one, from the small to large. It's much easier for you because you will receive satisfaction by already paying your smallest debt, and this will become the very positive, let's say, reinforcement that will now help you to pay off other larger debts. It's so-called snowball effect. Thus, the moment you pay off your debts, you will completely abandon the emotional state created by debts and enter a new state of consciousness and a completely new level of emotional, already happy experiences. Debt that is not paid to you also creates a financial hole. Therefore, it is very important to never lend an amount that hits your wallet. Lend only the amount of money that you sincerely and easily can simply give and not expect anything in return. Otherwise, having once borrowed money and experiencing fair retribution, you create excess potential in your life and your unconscious goes into waiting mode instead of doing mode. Your financial affairs from that moment seems to be on pause because soon the money should come anyways. And by the way, it is very important to remember that the debtor will subconsciously feel bad emotions towards you, since in this situation he looks at you from the position of the weak. Therefore, if you don't want to spoil your relationship with a person important to you, do not lend him money. But if you have already given it, then stop expecting a return. If you are familiar with everything I'm talking about, then like this video. Well, if you have friends who are interested in this topic, send them a link to this video. And remember that you can schedule a consultation with me, and together we will resolve your request in a warm and friendly atmosphere. I would like to thank in advance all those who like, comment, share my videos with friends and subscribe to my channel. This is the electronic equivalent of gratitude and reciprocity that we talked about in this video. Thank you for watching. See you soon.